Hey guys, I am so glad you're joining me to discuss and hear just a little bit about how I plan and how I'm trying to have a successful 2018, and just kind of want to share that glimpse with you a little bit. So, second, let me get my screen shared. All right, so really my thought behind this is 2017, I've been a coach now for 3 years, and the first year I grew my business to a diamond. In year 2, I went to 1-star diamond, and in year 3, I'm still 1-star diamond. And so I was reflecting, like I do at the end of each year, kind of why I'm still where I was. And a lot of that had to do with I kind of stopped planning, working as smart as I should, and to be honest, I just didn't do the things I should have done. And so I am determined not to make 2018 like that. And so I kind of wanted to share with you some things that helped me as a mom and as a working mom. I work full-time. I'm a teacher. I teach online, so I have a little bit more flexibility than some of you that work outside of the home. But it's still a very demanding job, and I work 10 to 12 hours a day. So it does, have its things. So anyways, to get started, so the idea is we really need to plan out for 2018. What do you want to be 2018 to look like? Where do you want to be at the end of 2018? Do you want to be a 1-star diamond? Do you want to be diamond? Do you want to be emerald? Is it you want to make a certain amount of money? And then how would you define that? At the end of it, what is success for you? So I've been working through, I'm not sure if you can see it in my tiny little window here. It's called Cultivate Power Sheets. And it's a tool that is helping me plan and set my goals for 2018. And the beginning pages is you kind of work through things that you reflect on what you did last year, what your goals are, what your dreams are, what you think success looks like, all those things. And one of the questions she asked was, what would it look like? Or how would you label success? And so ask yourself that and write these down. I think it's important for us to start planning this, because I don't think we can effectively plan out each month or each week if we don't have a goal in mind, if we don't have the end result. So for me, a successful year looks like me doing everything I could to reach my goal. It's not necessarily I'll share with you, my goal is to be a 5-star diamond. So the end result, if by the end of 2018, am I a failure if I don't make 2018? Not necessarily. I'm more of a failure if I didn't do everything I thought I could do to get to that point, which is where I'm sitting right now. I had big goals and I didn't do it, and I didn't put myself into there. So then you have to ask, what do you need to get there? So be specific and break that down for monthly. So my thought is I need to add about 36 to 40 coaches over the year. And so if I break that down for a monthly goal, then that means I need to add 3 to 4 each month on average, right? Some months you may have 6 and the other month you'll have 2, but on our average, we need to be there, and we need to be specific about your goals. So then how many new customers do I add? What are your Success Club goals? If you have a financial goal that you want to be at the end. But think about all those things and then break that down month by month. The problem that I've seen with New Year's resolutions, we can tell this to challengers too, is if we are thinking about it for the whole year, that's a long time. And so what happens is, if we want to lose 30 pounds over the whole year, Well, if I'm in March and I've only lost 5, that begins to get like, ugh, whatever. And so it's more helpful and more encouraging if we break it down month by month and we see ourselves building on that and tracking. This program I talked about, this Power Sheets, it does help you to track each month as if you're getting to your goals, but you can do that on your own. You can break it down specifically what you need to do each month, and then at the end of each month you're going to reflect, okay, what does that change for what I need to do next month? Okay, so how does that help us when we go into planning for our month? So I think it's very important that you have a strategic plan. I know that a lot of you use our team challenge groups and our team free groups, our team what is coaching calls, all those things, and that's great, and those are tools that you can use. I do think that if you ever get to the point where you're like, you really want to grow your business to a certain point, that some of that you have to take ownership of, and you have to start running some of your own things. I know it's helpful for customers to see you being a face that's leading that group. That doesn't mean you have to be the only one in there, but like if you're joined with our team challenge group, like the 80-day obsession group, then you need to take, if your customers want to see you as a true coach and someone that they potentially want to be sign up as a coach with, they need to see you taking an active role in that. And so think about that. Think about what that means for your month. And now I say a strategic plan because everybody's personalities are very different. I happen to be very fitness related. I've learned a lot about nutrition, but for me, I found that my free groups that I run, that the fitness themed ones are a lot more successful than my 5-day healthy eating, or like something like a craft or something like that. And you can do whatever you want, but have it be what works for you. Again, if you're just putting people in a free group that everybody else is running and you're not connecting with them and you're just putting them in there, that free group really isn't helping you. So you've got to have a strategic plan. And to think about that, and how, again, the end result is, how is this helping me get to where I want to be? Okay, so work smart, not harder. Okay, so just, advertising a free group and putting them in there isn't necessarily helping you. And they may end up connecting with another coach if you're not the one that's actively engaging them in there. So, not necessarily that you have to do this, but if you like the free groups that some of our uplines runs, which are awesome, I do suggest sometimes I take those ideas and I run them in my own smaller group. One of the free groups we're in, which is awesome, has 8,000 people on it, but it's 8,000 people, and I feel like it's really easy to get lost in that. So I like to break it down into my own, and I keep it a year-long thing too, so I just keep adding, but it's not as many people. Okay, so I take my goal and I take these things that I think that I want to have, these challenge groups, okay, and my what is coaching groups, my Shakeology group or Clean Week group, my free things, and I plan out my month. I'm going to go over that with you in a second, but I want to touch on this, the month-long versus year-long. I have both, and I know that sounds like a lot. I have both a year-long group and a month-long. So every month I make a new group and I advertise that. I found that for me, for the 4 months that I went last year where I didn't do the month-long thing because I didn't want to do as much creating groups and stuff like that, I found I didn't have as much success in my business because I wasn't advertising, hey, join me for my new boot camp that's starting, and there wasn't as much hype and excitement. I've actually had people that have stayed with this longer, and they keep going month after month into my next group, but they stayed with it. And to me, what they've shared is that it helps them because it's I've got to start and I've got an end, and it's not this just one long thing. Now, all to say, I still have a place where I send people that don't want to be involved, and we actually call it our Fit Club. And so we celebrate So if they've reached 50 workouts, we celebrate that. If they've reached 100 workouts, we celebrate that, whatnot. So 2018, we'll start a new fit club. So that way, if there's people that aren't active or whatever, they're not really in there. But that way, if they don't want to be in a month-long challenge, there's still a place for them. There's still a place to get support and accountability and to share things. But it's not necessarily, I'm not like actively adding content every day necessarily. So that's kind of what I want to do, but I encourage you to think about for you, what works best for you and how you do things. So with that being said, I take a look and I always plan out on my start about the 15th of the month. So I've already have out planned out for December or for January, what we're doing. But with all that in mind, I always start my free groups or my challenge groups on the first Monday of the month, and I end on the last Friday. Unless if we're doing a specific program. Now for 80-day obsession, it's going to look a little bit differently, and that's okay because we're not going to start till the 15th, and we are going to go the whole chunk. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do month-long ones in there for people that don't want to do 80-day obsession. We're going to start January with just this, and we'll see what February looks like. But knowing that I have that in mind is how I set up my month. So usually the second week, I always run a free group, okay? And then usually the third week, I run a Shakeology or a clean week. Now the reason behind that is I know that the start of my month, so the start of February, I'm gonna have another challenge group. So I'm gonna put them in my free group, and then I'm gonna extend an invitation to see if they wanna try Shakeology. And then I'm going to give them an invitation to see if they want to join my boot camp that's starting up. So that gives me an opportunity to try all, it gives me like 10 days to convert them to a customer and to talk about that. So I plan that out. And then usually in the third week, I like to do, or second or third week, I do like to do a what is coaching group or call. Again, sometimes I do that with our team one. Sometimes I do it on my own, just depending. And sometimes I actually do it within the challenge group. My current boot camp, we call them a boot camp that we have, just because those are people that are already coaches and they can, or already customers, so they can see why we're doing it. Sometimes I will offer a second free group this last month, and that one, or the end of this month, so like the 22nd through the 26th, and that one I will have a lot of times be where they create a free Beachbody account. And when we use the workouts that are available through Beachbody On Demand for people that are free customers, you know, they can try out like 5 of them or whatever. And then I share with them healthy eating tips, a meal plan. So I kind of run it like a mini challenge group. And then sometimes for that group only, I offer like a $10 off or $15 off if they purchase during that week. Sometimes I depend on if I do that and how I'm doing in Success Club. So I write that out. And the reason why I write all of that out is because we need our plan for a week. So again, we think about our monthly plan. So if I know that I am having a free group, I don't want to just post about it on the 6th of January. Okay, I want to start posting about that at the beginning of the week. And I want to talk about it several of times. It takes a lot of people, like, I think they say it 7 times before they commit to something. So I'm going to talk about it. And it's a free group. I don't mind talking about it, but I'm not going to just I might make a post Saturday night, you know, one last call, but that's not the first people are going to have heard about it. Okay, same thing with my boot camp. If my boot camp starts, so it would start first, second, third, fourth. So it'd be starting the 5th of February. So if my boot camp starts the 5th of February, I like to start 10 days before, okay? Or even 2 weeks before, because they need time to hear about it, time to think about it, and time to actually purchase and order, and then it gets to them at the start. So I start talking about those things, and I plan that. I put my, like, when I write out my calendar, I'll literally start talking about boot camp or whatever on my monthly calendar. So the other thing you want to plan out each week, and I do this on Sundays. I work, like I said, I work full time. And so I like to take the opportunity to plan out my week on Sundays. If you don't work full time and you have, or if you're not as busy or whatever, I think all of us are busy, then you might not need to do that. And that's okay. But I plan out my week and I plan out the posts based on my schedule, like I know. So do I need to share about a free group? Do I need to share about Shakeology samples? Do I need to share about my boot camp or whatever? And then I plan out, I like to always do a before and after sometime during the week. I like to do a challenger shout out. I like to do one healthy meal. I like to have a call to action. And then here are the other two that I wanted to share about is Struggle Web and What You Love About Coaching. And again, I plan most of these out on Sunday on what day I'm going to do it so that I post them. And then throughout the week, then I share my other things like my daily life. But then I know that these are getting done and it's not like a last minute, oh no, I got a boot camp starting, I need to post, right? And it's not a last minute thing. You've already thought about it, it's already planned. And some of you, if you can schedule it on Facebook. So again, the Struggle Web. So what I've done, there's more to detail than this. This is just a temporary one that I've made. So here's a Struggle Web. So I have fitness. Well, I love to eat and I really hate lifting weights. I love cardio. Okay, so my Struggle Web. And then maybe my family. One of the struggles is putting them first. Financial, school loans. So again, my real one is more in depth than this. I got kind of sick of making struggles, but make this, and these can kind of help you with some of your posts. The thing about sharing your struggles is people relate to your struggles. And if you're not actively sharing how you've overcome those struggles or helped us overcome it, or how you're overcoming it, doesn't necessarily have to be end, but how it's gotten better. This is a way that people can relate to you. I think it's important to share those every day. And then also make a list of 30 things, 50 things you love about coaching. And once a week, share something about that. It doesn't necessarily have to be I love coaching because or whatever, but put that into your post and share about that. And like I said, make a list of what you're going to do on what day. And then again, you can add in your pictures of your kids or, out with your friends or whatnot throughout the week. Now, if you are doing a free group, I don't know if you know, but if you use the computer, you can schedule out your posts. And if I have a free group, I'm always scheduling out my basic format ahead of time. Or in our boot camps, we like to do a daily check-in kind of thread. Otherwise, our page gets filtered out and you can't see it. So each day they post their workout, food, all of that, all underneath the same thread. So literally on Sunday, I go in and I schedule all of those posts. And then that way I can post them at 5 in the morning so that my people on the East Coast can see them or whatnot. And it's not something I feel like I'm behind on. Also on Sunday, I make a list of people. Again, you don't have to do this, but if you work full time and you're struggling with connecting with people, and part of it's because you probably don't have a plan. And so I make a list on Sunday of the people I'm going to connect with. I make a list I go through my Facebook or my Instagram and see the people that I added last week, and I write them down on a list. And then I track who I've talked with. And I personally do it on a piece of paper. I have tried over and over to do it on Streak. I've tried it on whatever, different things. And it really just doesn't work for me. I like it on paper. And so I make mine on paper. But do what works for you. And track that so you know who you've had conversations with and whatnot. But the list helps me because if I have, let's say you're in your car for 5 minutes, and you have 5 minutes you're waiting for your kids, that's 5 minutes you can be messaging people that are on your list. And you know who you're going to contact instead of going into Instagram, going into Facebook, looking to see who I'm going to connect with and not really having a plan about it, and kind of where you're at in your relationship. So, and then make a list of what you need to do each day versus what needs to be done each week. So maybe, I know for me, I don't always have an hour every day. So I make a list of what needs to be done for the week. Maybe you're a person that you know you're going to have this block of time every day, and so you need to make a list for what you're going to do each day. I personally need to make the list for what I'm going to do during the week and check that off. Okay. Now, tracking sheets. A lot of you have tracking sheets. You've seen them. Really just find one that works for you and keep using it. The key is to actually use it. So this is one that I created, and I can send that to you or share it in the group if you want. Just let me know. But the thing with this is I write down my names here, and I write down, are they Facebook, Instagram, and then step one is, starting a conversation with them, continuing that conversation. And then step two is inviting them to a free group. Step three is then connecting with them during that free group. Step four is inviting to a challenge group. And step five is inviting to coaching. They don't really go off my list unless if they tell me no to something. Okay, otherwise they're going to stay on there, and I'm going to continue that conversation. Yes, I'll still add more, and I might not do it every week. Okay, but this list, I print this and I have it, and that way it can go with me wherever I go in my planner. And then I have little things over here. Did I add 3 people? Did I have 3 conversations? Did I have 3 invites? Did I work out? Did I do 2 to 5 social media shares? And I think Instagram stories are part of that. Did I do my personal development? Did I check in my coach group? So just a little things just to make sure I checked off. And again, sometimes like Mondays are really hard for me. I don't get very many invites out on Mondays just because it's really a busy day for my job. And so Mondays, and that's okay. So then I know that I need to cover that on, the other days of the week. And again, that's all planning. So if I have that goal of reaching 36 coaches, how many people does that mean I need to talk to a week? Some of you have this good intention, and I know because I was there where I was going to send 50 invites out every week. And that was way too much for me, and I had no idea how to do that. I wasn't really connecting with people, and so I made it smaller. And it's okay to make it smaller. You don't have to, I know some of the trainings we get are send 50 invites. If that's too much for you because of your schedule, start with 10. I know what happens is that we see that thing of 50 and that just intimidates us, and so we don't even start. So lower that goal, set it to 10 and start. Okay, but you actually have to start. So what to do now? Write out your goals. Post them where you can see them. Write it out week by week, and then take action. One of my goals for this year was to do more training with my team, and so I didn't wait until the new year. I started now. Make your struggle web and make a list of the people that or the things you love about coaching so that you have that there. So when you're thinking about what you want to post about that week, you can do it. And then find a tracking system that works for you and actually use it and stick with it. Okay? If that's paper. If it's a computer-based system, use that. If it's on your phone, I know a lot of people use notes on their phone and just use it that way. And one check means this, and one check, they have the different stages. And if that works, that's great. Just find a system that works for you. And then here's my last thing is don't get caught up in timeless things. I can't tell you how many times I'm all of a sudden an hour later and I was supposed to be working and I was looking at Instagram stories for the hour. Okay, that wasn't working. Sure, it was on social media, and it may be if I was actually connecting purposefully with people that I wanted to, but a lot of times it's my friends and stuff like that. So it's not really me connecting with people that are going to help me grow my business. So again, don't get caught up in those things. So that's all I have for you today. I know a lot of you are going to watch the recording. If you have any questions or if you want, I'd love to help you sit down and plan this for yourself and to help you plan out 2018 and just be the person that you can filter things through. Just let me know and I'd be happy to talk with you. But thanks for tuning in and have a great day.